Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you know, you know. I'm just gonna jump right in. I'm starting out with her brows. I'm using the Huda brow pencil in the shade 7, I believe. Everything will be in the description, but I'm just gonna fill in her brows really lightly. I wanted her brows to still give that hair-like look, so I'm just gonna really use a light hand. To clean up the brows, I'm going in with my Too Faced concealer in the shade Warm Sand, and I'm taking Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Deep because that's like her exact shade, and I'm using that in the front. I was going really light with the concealer because I know I wanted to do a really dark makeup look and I wanted everything to really pop, so I'm just going to drag that down and use that as a base for my eyeshadows as well. Then I'm just going to go on with the Real Techniques brush, a really small one. I don't know the name, it'll be in the description, but I'm just going to take that and I'm just going to blend that out and make sure I have a clean, smooth base. Then I'm going to go in with my powder. I believe I took my AC Cosmetics in the shade No Shine just to set the eyes. I like doing that. I don't like to just go straight in. I know a lot of people like to do that, but for me, my colors will not blend, so I need to set it just a little bit. Now that I have a clean, nice, smooth base, I'm going to go in with my Juvias Place palette. I'm taking these cool tone shades. I didn't know where I wanted to go with this. I just know I wanted to use these shades. I noticed that this brush was just a little too fluffy and I didn't have control over the color. So I went in with a smaller but still fluffy brush just so I can have more control and I can really pack that color on. With that big fluffy brush, it was just kind of being messy and going everywhere, and I didn't really have as much control as I have with this, as you can see. If you know, you know. I am really getting into eyeshadow. I remember that you have to make it look round, so that's just what I'm doing here, and you'll see me go in with my a clean fluffy brush, a smaller brush, and I'm just gonna clean out those edges, but lightly, because this color is so dark. You don't want it to go too far because it's gonna show. It's not like a brown where you could like kind of finesse that. With this, you want to be careful. You want to place it exactly where you want it. Like, don't do no extra. Now, I didn't know that color was going to be that dark. Excuse me. So I ended up going in with a black because when you saw me before, I thought I was just going to use those colors to deepen it, but I really didn't really need it. It did something, but it could have went without, honestly. So you can skip step or you can add this. It did add a little bit of depth, but not too much. And then I also started getting a little too crazy with my shaping. So I had to like get myself back together, like, okay, no, we're doing it around. I kept going crazy. I was trying to do a wing. I was like, okay, that's after. Like, girl, listen. Anyway, now I'm going to cut her crease. And a good technique, if you have clients or yourself and you have hooded eyes or just period, you can put a line and look up and you'll see if your concealer drags up, you'll see how far you need to go with your cut crease. It was perfect, so I didn't really have to, over shape it or do anything crazy. So now I'm just gonna cut it up. And with makeup, it's a lot of back and forth regardless of whatever you're doing, especially with eyeshadow. So you'll see me just going back, making sure the shape is right on both sides or at least similar. It's not going to be twins. If you do get like twins, you to go. but realistically it's not gonna be the exact same. As long as it's not too off, you good. I'm just going to take that same brush and I'm just going to take the rest of the concealer off, just because you want a dry base. Not dry, but you want it to be tacky. You don't want it to be too wet, because in your eyeshadows or whatever you put on top of that concealer, it's just not going to blend out. It's just going to be a muddy mess. So make sure you take the extra concealer off. Make sure the eyes are tacky, not dry, and not wet. I'm going back in with that gray just to diffuse the edges so it's not a harsh line and just a cut crease. And then eyeshadow, I'm making sure it looks nice and seamless. Child, here I go again with this black, but I already used it, so I had to use it again. But honestly, as you can see, you can really just go without it. Like, if you wanted this to be soft, you really could just go without it. But I mean, we did what we did. So I'm just taking that same smaller brush and just blending out everything. Then I'm taking that lighter shade you saw me point to in the Juvias Space palette, and I'm packing that on her lid. One thing I did notice, if y'all remember, if you watch my other video with the pink eyeshadow and I said that this brush is good for a soft cut crease, this wasn't a soft cut crease, so I should have used a different brush. It still was nice, but that's just something that I noticed. I should have used a different brush. I'm taking a really small clean brush. Now listen, you need the clean brushes, especially when you're working with a lot of colors and stuff, dark colors, light colors. You need a clean brush, because you don't want to keep going in with the same colors and trying to blend everything out, because it honestly could get muddy real quick if you don't know placement too well. So be careful with that. Then I'm taking my LA Girl liner. This liner was so dry, y'all. You'll see me go with my NYX liner. Honestly, I liked the dry look. It gave it matte. I'm kind of mad I went in with the NYX. It was nice though, but this just gave it like that look. And I didn't want to do a wing. I really just wanted the liner to fall into the black or the gray. So you'll see me taking a small bullet brush and just smudging out the ends of the liner. Good or bad thing about being a perfectionist is that I should have just left it alone, and I kept trying to, oh no, this, and you guys may not notice, but I notice it's like a lump with the lines. I should have just left it alone. So because I made the lumps, I had to keep going higher and higher, which I wasn't trying to do, but it still ended up nice, especially with the lashes. But it was just trust yourself and just leave it. When you think it's nice, just leave it. Don't keep touching it. Now I'm just gonna take some makeup wipes and clean off the excess eyeshadow. I did use dark eyeshadow, so you just want to be careful. I went in with Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade Coconut. I've done her makeup 3 times already. I don't know why it may look really dark. Trust me, it's her shade. You'll see when I'm putting it on the forehead, it's literally blending right into her forehead. And to me, when it blends into your forehead, that's a good foundation shade. Taking my Real Techniques brush. This is the Instapot brush. This is a fave. You need this in your kit. I am just patting. I am not swiping. I'm not dragging it. I'm not moving it. I'm just patting this in to get a flawless full coverage. I'm going in with the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Deep. I always go in with her highlight shade in the Tarte Shape Tape in Tan Deep Sand. For some reason, I was so hyped to use Too Faced concealers that I went in with Warm Sand, and I just shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have used as much as I did. So if you're going to use this as a reference, I would rather you use Tan Deep Sand, or just be very light-handed with Warm Sand. I was way too heavy-handed with Warm Sand, so just be careful. I'm going in with my Black Opal foundation stick in the shade Suede Mocha, when I usually go in with Ebony Brown on her. So yeah, just guys, make sure you look at the products because it was definitely in my notes that I use Ebony Brown on her all the time, but I went in with Suede Mocha, which showed but not really, so be careful. Always make sure you blend out your edges of your concealer first and then go in the middle, and always make sure you're going back and forth within the concealer and the contour with the contour brush. Whatever you use to blend out your contour, use that brush, or even your foundation brush is a better choice. Use that brush to go back in with those edges, just so you don't get concealer contour. You know, you want it to blend, you want everything to blend into each other really nicely. So here I go, trying out new things. I'm using a powder puff, and I'm using Laura Mercier's Honey, which in my notes, I always use that on her. For some reason, it just did not work out. It was like too light. It was weird. I really think Warm Sand just threw everything off, honestly. Laura Mercier, on her skin, it just wasn't, it was just weird to me personally. I've done her makeup 3 times already, and just Laura Mercier did not do this to her. So I really think with the Too Faced, maybe the Too Faced is not just for her skin tone, and that's just totally fine. You live and you learn. That's the thing with makeup, you know, so it's fine. I'm just going to take my Morphe powder, contour powder in the shade 8R, and I'm going to take those 2 first shades, and I'm just going to bronze up her skin. I like this palette, but I still always gravitate to my Black Radiance. I can't even cap. I didn't do that in this video, but I'm just putting that out there. Then I'm taking my Morphe Trendsetter and lining her lips. Yeah, I know I like to skip step just so I can see what I'm going to do with the lashes and blush and so forth, so forth. Then I'm going to take my MAC liner, and I'm just going to line her lower lash line. Taking my Beauty Bakery blush at Target. I say at Target because it's, for some reason, it's only at Target. But I'm taking the orange one and the more plum-like, and I'm just applying that very lightly. I didn't want the blush to be too much, only because I wanted the eyes to really do what the eyes needed to do. Like, you know, it just needed a simple face. And then I don't know what oh yeah, I was standing in front of the damn camera, so like you could just not see anything, so I just ended up doing her lips, and this is the finished look. I hope you guys love it. I hope you guys like it. Let me know your thoughts, your comments. Follow me on social media. my Instagram, my TikTok. I do have a new Instagram. It's my makeup Instagram. I will be no longer posting makeup on Brianna Moneaa soon. It'll only be Beatsbyb. So make sure you follow.